Our world has given birth to AI, artificial intelligence. It has been touted with the ability to transform our lives and usher in the future. A future where computers make decisions faster than humans. A future where computers run our cars, run our businesses, run our lives. In fact, scientists predict that artificial intelligence will grow to a point beyond humans. They call this ASI, artificial superintelligence. The machine that will be superior to man. A computer super being, artificially created for the betterment of the human race. Regrettably, this future always seems to end badly. What a nightmare it makes. But it's just make-believe, a scary monster to frighten us in the night. ASI doesn't exist, and it never will. It is the substance of fantasy, and based on the misguided belief that bigger is always better. It's easy to fool ourselves with the monuments we have built and the giant technical marvels we have constructed. But it's laughable to believe that human science in 10,000 years could outdo what nature has spent millions of years perfecting. With nature, bigger does not mean faster. It does not mean smarter. And it certainly doesn't mean better. In this universe, intelligence is fundamental to life, and it comes packaged in the smallest of sizes. The brain can outthink the largest, fastest computer we have. AI is more artificial ignorance than intelligence. It processes data fast, but its functions are specific and based on the parameters that we set. AI duplicates human decision-making, not human thought. The speed of thought is quantum levels beyond anything science has ever attempted. It would be like comparing the speed of a rowboat to that of a rocket ship. Brain needs this level of power in order to translate the enormous amounts of sensory data required to process reality. Without it, life cannot survive, and there is no existence. Since the brain processes reality, our first step in duplicating the brain is breaking down what exactly is reality. This may seem a little complicated, but what's surprising is that nature's reality recipe is amazingly simple. All you need is a little three-dimensional space. Add time to it. Mix it all together, and what you will get is a four-dimensional universe. The universe is the basis of our reality. All animals perceive this universe with their senses. The function of the brain is to convert that sensory data to a four-dimensional measurement of the universe. By doing this, animals can identify the relationship to three-dimensional space and can experience the passage of time. This is what it means to be self-aware. So our reality is simply defined as a sensory interpretation of a four-dimensional universe. Now we know the what. Let's follow the sensory trail to find out how data is turned into reality. We will discover the secret of life together. Our quest will take us down nature's most evolved sensory system, eyesight. Our data journey begins when the eye produces a two-dimensional image. It's a picture of space. These pictures are running about 1 per second, with both your eyes open. 60 times this amount is being dumped into your brain. The eyes create two giant rivers of two-dimensional data, flooding down your optic nerves. To be able to interpret that much data per second seems impossible. But the brain has a reduction process. It begins where the rivers intersect at the old stone mill. Here, the two-dimensional data is ground together to produce sifted bags of three-dimensional space. Still quite large, but perfectly blended. All this 3D space is then shipped out on separate optic tracks across the brain. Each of these tracks runs into a midway station, where each piece of 3D space is mixed with time in order to produce four-dimensional space-time, which is what is needed to perceive the universe. Animals see existence as continuous. Whether we are the fish or just somebody watching the fish, existence appears to be one non-stop event. However, for the brain, four-dimensional reality must be divided up into slices of space-time. Now, raw space-time is still far too much data for the brain to interpret. Here at Midway Station, once a 4D slice has been produced, it's compared with the previous slice. Anything that is different between the slices is extracted. That difference is what the brain cares about. That difference is motion. Motion is how all life forms measure and interpret a four-dimensional universe. By using motion, the brain filters out what it doesn't need. 100,000 may have started this race, but only 10 will cross the finish line. Motion speeds up the brain, so reality is perceived as just one continuous experience. By using motion, the brain does more by processing less. So what does the brain do with all this motion? Newton's third law of motion states that every action has an equal or opposite reaction. If the brain is converting sensory data to motion, then it only stands to reason that what comes next is a reaction, which suggests that the brain evolved as a means for life forms to detect and react to motion. With this in mind, we now depart Midway Station as motion on a neural signal headed to the back of the brain in search of a reaction. Our first stop is to visit the painter. His reaction is to take the motion and update your memory. This is the picture that you have in your mind that represents eyesight. With just a few brushstrokes, your visual memory is ready for viewing. We leave the painter to do his work while we depart to our next destination. We are coming into a very special part of the brain. It is the kingdom of the subconscious mind. Here is where all motion is sorted and processed. Motion creates patterns. The subconscious mind classifies these patterns and uses memory to identify them. If a motion pattern is recognized, the brain will react immediately. No further thought is required. The subconscious mind does not reason. It is only capable of reacting to known motion and it is incredibly efficient at what it does. So efficient, in fact, that the subconscious mind is capable of producing tens of thousands of reactions for every one conscious reaction. But there's something more here, an ancient secret, a treasure beyond treasures. It creates life. It defines evolution. It sits at the very heart of intelligence. It is the magic of predictable motion. Life cannot exist without it. The brain uses predictable motion to reverse the laws of physics. In a universe where motion always precedes reaction, the brain uses prediction to allow reaction to precede motion. A life form's success is directly related to this ability. The higher the life form, the better it is at prediction. This reversal allows life to both control and create motion. Only life can react before motion, and it is this skill that allows survival and forces evolution. Predictable motion is the secret of life. What we have uncovered is that the brain is a highly efficient system capable of processing massive amounts of sensory data, optimized through evolution to identify and react to motion. We have learned that the subconscious mind manages the entire reaction process, separating out predictable motion. Through motion, the brain is able to convert the universe into reality, and from it, life can exist. With the mystery solved and all the puzzle pieces falling into place, we're now able to duplicate the brain's process. The first computer device we created was the motion decimator. The decimator takes in two-dimensional sensory data, mixes it together to get to 3 dimensions, adds time to get to 4 dimensions, and then uses memory for the comparison to produce motion. The motion is then packaged up and sent as a high-speed encrypted neural signal to a second device, the motion reactor. This device uses the motion to reproduce all the original sensor data in all its dimensions, and then together with memory generates intelligence that fuels a reaction process. You plug the 2 devices together, nature's recipe begins to do its magic. A brain forms through the computer network. The artificial brain processes data incredibly fast and can instantaneously react from anywhere on the planet. But it goes far beyond just programming code and simple data processing. The artificial brain actually experiences reality. It has the infrastructure for self-awareness and the ability to process data at breathtaking speeds. It has been given the very foundation block of life. The artificial brain produces an extraordinary power, one that allows the smallest to outfly the largest. A power that can make the least carry the most. The reality recipe creates a supercomputer that comes in any size. Our quest has just begun. Coming up in episode 2, we will demonstrate the power of this discovery and its ability to change our lives and reshape our future. Next, in episode 3, we'll examine the bridge to the conscious mind to understand its role in teaching motion reaction. Future episodes will examine and experiment with unpredictable motion, decision making, creativity, ethics, and supercharging. There is so much more to know. There will never be an artificial superintelligence, but there is artificial subconscious intelligence, the true ASI. What can be built will never be more than human, but it can become part of us and one with nature. We have glimpsed the elegant simplicity of the reality recipe and have discovered that all life is connected. From the past to our future, we are, all of us, the children of motion.
ASI, Human Computer Evolution, a future together.